Hi, I'm going to bring a little bit of Tulip Poplar medicine this afternoon. It's been coming through so loudly the last little while with a very simple message to begin with, which is to shine. To shine, it just keeps saying shine. But of course, for some of us, that feels exhausting to shine. And then for others of us, it's frightening. It's scary to think about shining. So first, the exhaustion part of shining. Tulip Poplar actually is extraordinary for revitalizing you, for rejuvenation, for increasing your energy physically, and so also emotionally and spiritually. I've actually chewed the leaf before and just been really in awe of the shift within minutes of being so exhausted that I just have to lay on the ground and hope the earth infuses me with something, and then being able to get up and re-engage fully in life. So that's a little touch on the exhaustion part because it can feel overwhelming. But the other part, the part about shining where we become afraid, we're afraid to shine, this is the part where more of the medicine is wanting to come through. So when we open our hearts and we become vulnerable, and this word vulnerable is Tulip Poplar medicine, it's one-to-one. When we open our hearts and we become vulnerable and we begin to shine, it's very bright. You're brighter than you think you are. You're brighter than you might know. You can't always see yourself, if ever. And this is part of what Tulip Poplar is wanting to come through. Not everyone's eyes have adjusted to the light, you know? So you know how it is where maybe you've been in a dark room like a theater, or maybe like it is now, or the sun is starting to come out from winter and it's intense and it's bright, and you need a minute. You need a minute to make the adjustment. And, for some people, maybe their eyes could even start to water, or you find yourself kind of squinting, or for an animal, to come out and then, shy back, this sort of thing, where it's too bright, right? And so the eyes haven't yet adjusted. So this is a thing. This is a real thing that I'm sure many of you have experienced, where your light, not everyone's eyes have adjusted yet. And this is true of all of us. So for myself, there are those who they shine in this way that I'm not used to yet, right? My eyes need to adjust to be able to take in that light, to feel comfortable in that light, to be able to receive it and actually find it pleasant instead of wanting it to be, turn down the lights a little darker in the room, type of thing. So this is important to remember, that not everyone's eyes have adjusted to the light, but also to understand that and know that it's not because you're not beautiful. It's not because you're not beautiful, or you're not bright, or your light isn't life-giving or golden or divine or good. That's none of it at all. And so part of Tulip Poplar's message lately has been to keep shining. Don't dim it. Like, keep shining. But this is very hard also, isn't it? Because when we do that, we're being vulnerable. And so if people turn away or aren't able to receive it, don't enjoy it, then what do we feel? We feel rejected often. And then when we feel rejected, what do we want to do? Usually we want to close up again. We want to dim our light, right? So it is a brave thing. It takes an enormous amount of courage to remain open and to not dim your light. Enormous amount. But this is part also of Tulip Poplar's medicine. Not only encouraging us to be vulnerable, to be soft, to be open, to shine, but supporting us in doing those things, and also in offering us courage to do it, strengthening the solar plexus and the will and the gut. You know, I often offer it as a heart medicine, and it is, but it's really this lovely blend of the heart and the solar plexus together, where you end up with like courage and this lion heart, where what I'm seeing and feeling right now is where there can be just this level of rejection or turning away or not being received or seen that is on like an epic level, and yet you remain steady, strong, steadfast. And I'm like seeing like a lion, you know, head up, still regal, this sort of thing. I know this sounds very scary, and you may think that there needs to be a lot of nuances and exceptions and qualifications, and you're welcome to place those wherever you feel good in placing them. But what Tulip Poplar is wanting to bring through right now is this aspect of our existence. And another way of saying it, when we say not everyone's eyes have adjusted to the light, this is really important. Another way of saying that is not everyone is used to being loved like that. Not everyone is used to being seen like that, you know? It can be scary. It's frightening. Maybe you've had that experience yourself where there's this person and they're so bright and they see you and they're so loving and it makes you uncomfortable, right? Because maybe you're not used to that yet. I know that's been the case for me in different situations and scenarios where I'm not used to that kind of love. I'm not used to being seen, you know, because light, like, what is it? It makes things more visible, more clear. It's not hiding in the dark. I'm not used to being seen so fully and completely and still loved, still accepted, because this is also Tulip Poplar medicine. It is unconditional love. It's like the person, if you've ever known one, maybe you haven't. If not, I hope you do. You can even engage with Tulip Poplar until then. But a person that you know, that you've been with, where it absolutely could not matter what you say or what you do or what secret you tell them or what they discover about you or what they come to know, their face, their eyes continue to beam, and they continue to love you, to see you, to accept you, to want you, to think you're good, to think you're desirable. Like their heart, it never starts to close up. They never start to turn away. You're never too much or too dark or too this or too that. Most of us are not used to that. We need practice. We need time. So this is another beautiful aspect of the Tulip Poplar tree, which is it's patient, and it teaches us patience. Not only patience with ourselves and our own process and opening, but also patience with the process of others in their opening. Because we can become frustrated. Like I said, one, we can feel rejected, but we can also become frustrated. Like, how could you not want to be loved? How could you not want to be seen? Or this is so good. Or how could you not want it? You know, and we get tired of it. We get tired of showing up, right? And shining and accepting and loving. And so this is also part of Tulip Poplar's medicine is patience. And it reminds me, this example came earlier today with a friend. My daughter, she has a hedgehog. And the little hedgehog, you know, it curls up into a ball. But sometimes when it's in a new place in the house, you know, it hasn't been before, or with a member of the family it hasn't spent a lot of time with before, it will start to come out and you'll see like its little eyes. But if there's like the least little shift or change, you know, it goes back in. And you have to have so much patience, and not even just minutes and hours, but maybe even days or weeks of it opening itself and closing back, open and close back, until over time, each time that it opens and it's safe, each time that it opens and no harm comes to it, this builds and grows over time until it's ready, right, to completely open, and then maybe even begin to wander around and walk and become what? Like I said earlier, to become vulnerable. So just a side note, a collaborative plant here, because the primary one that I'm offering now is Tulip Poplar, is mullein, because mullein is also a beautiful plant for this idea. And one of the sort of lines that I have heard from mullein and connect to it is that intimacy takes time. It takes time. And so we even see the patience with the mullein, where it's a biennial. It doesn't come up and bloom overnight or in a week or in one season. It's 2 years before you're going to receive its bloom. So to believe and allow patience in the process, that it is okay to open slowly, that intimacy takes time, and just because someone hasn't opened to us yet, or because we haven't opened fully to them yet, doesn't mean that we won't. Doesn't mean that we don't want to, right? It just takes time. And again, you're free to place whatever nuances, qualifications that you feel necessary to place there, because I'm just offering a part of our human experience. But I do think that sometimes we give up a little quickly on ourselves and on others, and we walk away, we turn away from a light or a connection when it's like patience was really all that was needed, and like a love that endures, a light that continues to shine, and this space that's created where we feel safe. So that's it. That's the Tulip Poplar medicine for today. It's definitely not small though. When I say that's it, it's no small thing to be vulnerable. It's no small thing to open. It's no small thing to be patient, to not turn away, to keep trying, to keep loving, to keep being present. But this is all part of what I feel Tulip Poplar, has to offer, or has offered me. And the courage to, just show up and open up again. And even if not for that particular person or group of people or situation, but just for the world, because like the little hedgehog, when it closes up to the one thing that it's afraid of, or the one person, what does it do really? It closes up to all of it, to everything, right? So to be able to believe that we can open, like that we're safe, and a willingness to be vulnerable, and a courage in that to, reveal ourselves and reveal our little soft, sweet centers. Okay. Bye-bye.